Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Perakee Podcast. Today I have with me a special treat. I have my friend Arit. He is from Norway, but is currently training Muay Thai kickboxing in Thailand. It's a big passion of his and a big part of his story. A lot of people ask me, what is a Perakee? What's that name? And it's, I am a Perakee. And Arit is a Perakee. It's a double Simeon crease, and we're going to get into that. It's a line across our hands, both hands. It's very rare. Some say genetic mutation. He's got it too, and he's here to explain a lot about it. Because I mean, I've done some pretty deep dives, but not as deep as this man. He schooled me a lot on what's going on with us, and I'm finding out a lot more about who I am and who we are as Parakees, and nobody can explain it better than him. So, Art, go ahead and take it away. Tell people about yourself. Tell them your story.
Okay. Hello. Namaste. I use the name Audit, but my other name, I have a legal name also that I don't necessarily use anymore. There's a reason for that I will come back to later. Since I was very small, I've been always, on the outs with everything different, just like you, Brad. I could sense when people were telling lies. I started experiencing strange things as you did. Yep. And later in life, I started researching this more in depth. And I found out that I've been learning about this all my life without knowing it. Like, I know certain kind of information that, it's no coincidences in this world. It's only synchronicities. Yeah. That is so true, especially for us, double Simeons. As you know, these times is crazy. Synchronicities for us. I started researching, and what I found was an insane amount of information, like insane. We have 10,000 years of information about double Simeons in statues, in religion, in traditions, in stories, Star Wars, especially Star Wars, which is directly connected. Yeah. Star Wars was not made by George Lucas. That is a story he got from other place. The inspiration too, at least. He put it in another universe and changed it a little bit. And basically, what I'm saying is, what I found out is, you can call it hacks or you can call it gnosis, secret knowledge in my life. And I started seeing what's going to happen in the future. I started healing people. And all this happening while I was reading about Perakee, Suri in Islam, Suar in Judaism, or Elohim, or Samsumin, or all the different names that they actually have on us for 10,000 years, at least. And that is pretty insane when you realize that it caught my interest, of course, right? Why is this? Then I started looking back at my life because I already had my dark night of the soul many, many, many years ago. And that happened I believe in 2012. Then also many other things happened in 2012. Many theories about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also say that something happened in 2012, which is why we live in the reality we live in now.
Do you think it's Mayan calendar or the Higgs boson hadron collider? All those things seem to be from that special date.
Yeah, it's all connected.
Yeah.
Every story is connected, you see, and I believe I found the key. And the key is going to be us, double Simeons. We have a special mission. Everybody knows. Every double Simeon have this feeling about you are here to help others, right? You have special personalities that is unique to this world. Something that I found out with my study with many double Siemens, because I think only maybe Larry has talked to more double Siemens than me. Maybe only Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I go in depth, with them, asking them what they believe of the future, if they see visions, everything. And every double Simeon have a different skill set. And I can go back to my vision. I think for many years ago, when I saw what's going to happen to us, the double Simeon. The double Simeon within this year is going to be everybody going to know this story about, or be interested in what is the double Simeon within this year. And that is what is also said in all the prophecies, which are true. Yeah. The double Simeons, where do you want me to go? Like talk about the future or where we're at now? For us, doubles.
But all of it. I find, especially like lots of stuff just I've researched myself, and I know you and I have talked about before, is like the past, like that, like most people don't know a thing about this, right? We know it because we have these marks on our hands, but maybe start with the history of it.
Yes.
Start with the history of it through the ages, and then up through your vision.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm claiming is that the spirit have showed me all this story through my life, and the reason because I can actually remember it is because we doubles function differently with our memory than other people. We function more. We have heart memory. We can connect memories to emotion, and then we forever remember. And it's much larger than your brain. Like, to explain why I have this knowledge, and I can talk with no notes, no nothing.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I know the exact dates or the exact year, but roughly. Okay, so I don't say anything wrong, because well, that's how it is. Anyway, the story, the furthest back we go is Sumer, like Mesopotamia and Sumer.
Yep.
About 10,000 years ago, 8,000 years for Christ, as we have the calendar now, which is also kind of in the illusion, different, in the illusion. And in Sumer, we have it both in stories of the gods and goddesses, which is progress through time, just have different names on them.
Same story, repeated over and over.
It's all repeated over and over. And there's a reason for that too, and that I'll come back to. But you can see it in all their statues. But you can also see it in the belief they have when we go to Babylon. But then when you go to Babylon, you go much further back, forward in time, right?
Yeah.
So we know that King Solomon must have this.
Okay.
Now, why I say that Solomon, or Solomon as they call it in Islam, is actually, it's not a name, it's a title. That you also need to mark that it is a title, it's not a name, Solomon. Solomon was a Suri. It's called we are called Suris in Islam.
Okay.
This is very well a huge amount of history about this. Like Aladdin, story of Aladdin comes from us. Aladdin was a Suri. the original 1001 nights, you know.
Yeah.
Throughout the history, there's something that happened when the Abrahamic religion happened. But to explain it all, I have to go even more back in time. And I'm going to turn to Atlantis, Toltecs, and the Perakee story.
Yeah.
So then we talk even longer back. Right? And that was another time when they had different technology than us. And this is important to understand that how reincarnation have worked before, how it works today, and how it's going to work in the future. After Atlantis and whatever happened there, Atlantis is not only one place. Also, Atlantis was most likely within the Toltec Empire, because they are the only one that have Atl in the language. Yeah.
Right. Atlantis was a civilization around the world, right?
Yeah, but also think about it. You say Atlantis, you say Atlantis, so you pronounce A as A, like the rest of the world is, but your A is a A, right?
Right.
So why do you change the sound? Have you ever questioned yourself about that? You know, sound also matters, you know. Sound makes of our language. Yeah. Anyway, so people can follow. The Atlanteans, when they had a much more peaceful world, just as it's described in many of the other texts, you know, there were no wars, there was love, you know, goddesses, and people who could do things, heal others, help others, and they didn't even eat food. They got the energy from the sun. And they used this energy, and they had people who used them, priests, and that was us. But all of them were double Simeon. That is one way to tell the story. And then there are the Islam story, which is the exact same story, but they used the word Jann, which is my name, my legal name, J-A-N-N, okay, and jinns. Yeah. And that is also something that actually represents yin and yang. Jinn and yang was the original, not yin and yang.
Oh, okay.
And that, yeah. So then we come back to, and in a Christian way to look at it, is the Book of Enoch. You see, when in Islam, what I say is more realistic to believe, or is more of the truth, is that they mixed in, like the Perakee story and the Atlantis story mixed in with humans. And they took the double humans out of the society of the humans and raised them as their own.
Right.
And I say that happened for some time also after Atlantis and all that fell after a big war. And eventually humankind forgot, or it lose the ability to psychic abilities, but also the ability to remember the past lives.
Right.
Because they used to do that for a certain amount of time. Then something happened and a bad power took over the world. We call it today, we call it Iblis, Satan, Molech, Baal, whatever. You know, all these entities that they pray to in the world today. And this influenced people by language, which is spells. Humans are not actually supposed to speak. They are supposed to be psychic, actually.
Yeah, telepathic, right.
Telepathic, yeah. Telepathic.
And words are like casting spells, right?
But also psychic, so that you can feel the vibration like me, and you can feel other people's vibration. And if they lie, because we can, that also other people will get that same ability. And that's what I mean with not only telepathic, but also a kind of a psychic thing that you feel these vibrations. It's more feelings. Yeah.
Have you ever read before? I read in like Islam and Judaism, being born with these lines on your hands was a bad omen, and they would kill the baby, and they said that we were
Yeah.
half jinn, which is a genie. They'd say that we're half blood genies,
And that is
demigods.
also half a truth. It's half a truth that is truth
Yeah.
in what they say, but it's twisted.
Okay.
And that's why I differentiate the word jinn and yan. So those who listen to me within Islam can understand what I try to speak to them, because I'm trying to differentiate two types of jinns, one yan and one jinn.
Right.
Okay. There's others also. You have hin and you have bin and you have many different, also within Islam. But two major ones. And yan is also connected directly synchronicity with me, which is the first spirit on the earth, which is Yan Ibn Yan, which is Yan, son of Yan, that means. And if you think that what I say is true, then I'm actually Yan, son of Yan.
Yeah.
You see the connection?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's a synchronicity for you. A funny one.
Yeah, that is a funny one.
No. Maybe him. Those. Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah.
So anyway, okay. So I didn't come to the Abrahamic religion yet, because whatever that when the bad people of the world that I don't want to call them whatever other people call them. I call them dark friends. They are part of evil of this world. They took over the world and they established the Abrahamic religions. Yeah, and they did that with not with Jesus or Isa. I mean that Jesus is not his name or title. That the title that was used on him was Isa at the time.
Right.
And he teach the real Gnosis, and then these bad people took it and did something else with it. After 300 something, and after Constantine started with the Bible, but also before that, in around 550 BC, and they made Judaism the same thing, when they took all their other gods and put it back to one and called it Yahweh, which is not actually the God of love at all, or the force. Like
They corrupted it. They took like Jesus's teachings. He was an Essene.
Yes,
he was out in the caves. He was a Jedi. He was a Jedi training,
yes,
meditating.
that's
where he when he was
like
ready, he came to the world, brought his message. But I fully believe that. And then they made it into a religion, corrupted it, and used it to control people through guilt and shame and all these other things. The Catholic Church is pretty notorious for that.
all the bad things we know from history, what happened after that, right?
Yeah.
After what they corrupted and enslaved humankind in moral that they shouldn't have.
They took out, I feel like, the empowering things out of the Bible, like the Book of Enoch, the Gospel of Thomas, Mary Magdalene.
That's also something.
Yeah.
This year, the Book of Enoch, the Book of St. Thomas. No, sorry. I mean, the Gospel of St. Thomas. Neville Goddard.
Yeah.
It's going to be studied, okay? Like insanely this year.
Yeah.
Because now everything evolves, and that's what I'm actually trying to say it in a simple manner. Whatever all these religions say is right, and me and you are those people, and we are here to help people, but we are here foremost, we have to come together. And because I have a little bit of the Gnosis, and I believe you have a little bit of the Gnosis, the hidden knowledge. Yep. And we all have it in our lives. And it's not before 144,000 of me and you come together in one way or another and try to study this for real, seriously, take this for serious.
There's definitely I've felt a big push, like I said, since about July. I've always been a seeker, always synchronistically guided through paranormal, weird things. I've always liked aliens and I've studied every religion. I've studied these double Simeon lines, and yeah, it's brought me to currently Rosicrucianism, which is kind of a study of all the religions and showing the correlations between them and how they're all the same, right? And they're all about love and light. They're just about being good and about living a life of service to humanity.
Mind and heart in one. That's Rosicrucianism. Mind
Yeah.
and heart in one. And
Yeah.
what is this?
Yeah.
It
No,
is
that's why
mind
I'm
and
so
heart in
drawn
one.
to it. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
this is an easy way. You know, I can tell you how in Tibetan Buddhism, if they're going to explain us to other people, they would say that we can change. Well, you can do magic without knowing. That's why we are dangerous, and they call us dangerous when we are unawake. Yeah. Because whatever you can manifest things, because you always have, as long as you're balanced as a double Simeon and you're happy or balanced, at least balanced, whatever you wish for can actually come true.
Yeah.
And the things that you think about of other people will happen. So you have to be, but luckily we have good hearts, because I know even though most of us have done terrible things, bad things, we never did the bad things in a system. We just went down a bad road, and when it went as worse, then we turned and we went up again. Because that's the only way you survive as a double Simeon. If not, you're dead.
Yeah,
80% of us die.
When I was young, I used to have a very bad temper, and I learned very quickly, not when I was in enraged anger, not to wish ill upon that person, because when I did, it happened to them, like right now. And it scared the living shit out of me. So even when I get really mad at somebody, I try to inside, even though I'm pissed right off at them, I try to keep it in, because I know some bad luck will befall them if I get really mad at them.
All people can do this, you know, because as it says in the Gospel of St. Thomas, you are in the Bible and all the other books, you are a co-creator. And you're not the creator, that's the Spirit, but you are a co-creator. And you're right, it's your own bubble, and you can create whatever you want.
Yeah.
You just have to ask for it. Yeah. And together we are strong, and together we're going to fight whatever is the evil of this world that is coming. And from that is what I'm gonna I want to talk about today. And that is the armor of the Spirit, and that has to do with talking truth, be honest. Like it's the same thing, but have good intentions for everybody. Try to be the light, you know, because the depression and the circles that the double Simeons go in this time, you keep going back in the same bad circle, bad circle, back again, bad circle, and then when it's mox, it's beautiful. You have contact with the Spirit, everything is nice, and then boom, you're down. You have to take the whole armor of the Spirit, and that includes taking care of your body. And you will see, I talked about this a little bit before. You see, all double Simeons now are into what I'm saying, and that is either intermittent fasting or fasting one day. They are into carnivore. That is for a reason. They are warriors to be. They're going to supposed to eat red meat in this time, but it's complicated with the food. Okay, it's not one answer. It's very complicated. It's a road towards no food, but that has to be. That is a very complex road and takes many years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you will see that many double Siemens are very into communities, off-grid living.
Yeah, I've been very drawn to that. I've been looking at all these communes in Costa Rica, and I've been sending the videos of them to my mom and to my. They all think I'm crazy.
No, this is something you and all doubles need to take serious. You know, each and every one of you that you know there is more than 144,000 doubles, much more.
Oh yeah.
And there are also going to be some who say, I'm not going to deal with this. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just going to live my life. And that's fair. That's up to them, right?
Yep.
But the 144,000 that will take the call, because they will have a sense of a place that is safe. And that is really, and this is why I call to be cautious from now on, from this video on onward, because you understand what this means,
Yeah.
like in a religious manner,
Yeah.
because I say, I am Christ, I am a Messiah, I am Elohim, I am all those things, and you are too, brother. And when I have, at least I have accepted my faith, whatever take the faith that comes, and I know it's going to be good. My road is towards agriculture. I know how to make, and I know the road the spirits want me to lead people, because we're leaders. We're going to lead people towards nature,
towards permaculture and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been hugely drawn to that too.
It's going to come because now Christ is here, but also Antichrist is here. It's already active in the media.
Oh yeah. The world is upside down right now.
Yes, and people will understand now that Christ is not one person, but there is many Christ in every country. It actually says so in the Bible, because you know how they divided the nations. What it says, it was actually divided into the Elohim. We were the rulers before the double Simeons at the time before. After Atlantis, we were the rulers, the kings and queens, the royals. That's why I call it blue blood. But it's not blue blood, it's light blood, because your blood is lighter. 100% is lighter than normal people's blood.
Really?
You know this?
No, I did not know that.
You taken blood sample?
No, you know what? I've barely been in a hospital in my entire life. I've been very lucky.
Okay, yeah. But there are also, there's also different skill set to us doubles that is very well explained in Islam through Suri. And like me, I have all the signs. It's not only these two, but it's the two twirls on the top. It's a split tongue. It's the iris. Everything of this, and a split hair. I'm very split. It's like I'm split in two, everything. Fruit, everything is split in two.
I have the weird hair thing too. I've had hairdressers tell me that too.
Yeah. Oh, so you have what is called the Rascals, the guy in Rascals had this up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that as a young kid, so they call that too. Anyway, this matters because that is what the kind of skill set you have, Brad. There's powers with that. But we don't know yet what these powers is. But some of the gnosis that I found out is not only how words work, but also your name. You see, my name means something very special. If you investigate my name, you will see it has the same story as Esther in the Bible. When you investigate my name, you will see it means the hidden one. You will see the connection to Islam and Ibn Jann. You will see Jann also means not only the hidden or the concealed one, but also the first one.
Oh.
You see, Jann also have a magical thing that happens in this world. And Jann means the first, as Jann was the first spirit in the world.
Oh, okay.
And this is kind of interesting because this is actually researchable. You can research this, right? My claims, you can research that. So I say that everybody that is called Jann with two N. This is very rare in my country, and I have a story about that too. They will be the first in something all their life. That is why I am one of the first ones to openly say that I am Elohim in this time. And also, it's a reason in my life, it has a reason I've been the first in everything in Norway. I was the first one to have internet in Norway. I'm the first one to have mobile telephones sold over cashier. I was the first professional gamer, like computer gamer.
Oh,
Like
really?
I've been first in, yeah, I've been first in everything. Yeah. I've been one of the first one who started going to Thailand to train my Thai. Certainly from my country. Yeah.
Oh, right on.
You see, I'm always first. And that is a magical meaning. And that is in all names, Brad. But people don't use their whole names.
I don't. My
And
first
then
name is actually James. Brad is my middle name.
so people should, and you see, when you then think about what a birth certificate is,
Yeah.
it's money. It's a money.
It's a receipt for you.
No, it's actually, it says it's same as I don't know the English term for it. In Norway, it says you know that you are set up. You know the financial system. You know fractional banking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fractional
and
reserve
that's
banking
what-
system. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you're
Well,
an asset. You're an asset.
you're asset.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that and the registration birth certificate is actually a registration for your asset into the crown.
that's right.
Yeah, and people are gonna be surprised, but it is that system that is the sin, not
Yeah,
the
it's
sex.
enslaving us.
It's the part of being part of the society as it is today, is to sin. Just check the Hebrew meaning of the word sin. It means society.
Yeah, and they call it a social insurance number here, right? This in here. I don't know if it's the same in Norway, but yeah.
And that's why within this year, the start of the Exodus is coming. The real Exodus. Yeah. Where people are going to leave society as it is and make their own small communities and stay together and fight the fight that's coming up.
I'm
Because the
ready
fight's
for it.
coming up. Yeah, we all are
I've been
ready.
I've been particularly drawn to South America, probably because I'm a Perakee and that's where the legend comes from. But Costa Rica and Argentina, I've been looking at. I've been
Yeah,
obsessed with them. At night, for
but
some
you should
reason, I
just
have to
check
look
out
it up.
where you're safe. Wherever you feel that you're safe, that's where you have to go. And do whatever
Yeah,
you have to do in the time to come. Because it's going to be hard times coming. The war is coming
yeah.
now. Yeah,
I
from
think it's
August.
here now. I think it's
I
here
think
now.
it's, but it's going to spread from August.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I also we had some experiments with a few doubles. You see, we are about 20 or 30 people now that most likely are what we call at the eighth stage, like the eighth step of God, or eighth Kundalini is open, say, or
The
however you want.
chakras.
Not enlightened, enlightened, because that's the ninth step. Normally, when you're enlightened, you die, right? And you reborn. But
Right.
and it's very important for double Simeons to say that out loud, that you don't want to die when you get enlightened. You want to continue. It's really important. Okay. I don't know. Have you done that? Have you
I'll
been
try to
into that?
remember that.
Yeah, but you have to, because you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Now we've been all over the place, right? Where do you
All
take
over.
it from here?
All over.
Well, it's a hard story to tell because it's so complex, you know?
It is, and some of the other things, like just so off the top of my head, since we were going on the
Mhm.
past and the history of the Perakee, that I've read is that all gods ever depicted in painting or statue have these lines on their hands. Uh,
Uh-huh.
the thing about Judaism is Islam would kill you on sight when you were born because you could be a demon.
Yes.
You're too powerful. It's too risky.
Same in Judaism, the Kabbalah.
Yeah, I've been studying Kabbalah too. Yeah, yeah.
Also in the Middle Ages, the most sought after blood was from us. And this was called in the 1800s. What was this called, you think, in Europe?
I don't know.
Stigmata.
Oh, stigmata. Okay. Have you heard about Morocco? In Morocco, They would find children that had lines on these hands to go into
That's the
caves
story.
to get treasures, to go treasure hunting, because they said we are half jinn, so the genies wouldn't kill the Perakee. The devil Simeon could walk through all the booby traps and the evil spirits
Yeah.
and find the treasure,
That's
but then
what
they would.
that's what they tell the lay people that they
Okay.
do with it.
Okay.
But what they really do is they kill them and drink the blood and make markings and sacrifice them to the devil.
Well,
And the
I
last
heard
one,
that they killed the kids after they found the treasure. That's what I heard. Yeah.
it's not only it's the blood. They drink the blood. And now it's not many months since there's a poor child, a 12-year-old girl in France, with double Simeon, found in they believe that was the Suri myth, because they believe you see, we are famous in France now because now they talk about this as a North African witch theory, right? And the right wing in France blame the North Africans for bringing this belief into France,
Okay.
like killing us. Okay. And she got killed and she had markings, devil markings or whatever in her. And she was found in a suitcase. Just recently, 12-year-old suitcase, France, search it up.
I will.
They find it. Yeah. Tragic. But and it's a real thing that they do this to us. And they have been doing this to us for thousands of years, because there are prophecies also within the dark fence that say the prophecies of what's coming. They know what's coming. They will fight. They also, and he will fight. So we will win. I have no worries about that. I'm actually looking forward to the part where we go towards nature. That's what I try to think of. I don't think so much about the technology world, the fractional banking. I learned all that many years ago. And Rockefellers, BlackRock, and COVID, and everything like that.
Yeah,
I know
Bilderbergers,
what's coming.
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, I know all that.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm about to talk about. I talk about the road towards the nature and how you can use your language to help yourself, how you could visualize and manifest things with your prayers, and how to pray right, and how to use, for example, things like semen retention, which is really important for us doubles now, which is part of the armor of the spirit. I didn't finish that. The armor of the spirit is also not only the food that you eat and all that, but also something I call sex, health through sex, and also which is basically you can have sex with your partner, but don't come as a man, because a man have life force. A woman can get more and more and more. It doesn't matter for her; she get more and more life force. But a man cannot be empty.
Yeah,
it's that simple. Yeah, it's his life force.
Yeah.
So it has to be preserved. Yeah. And
no, I've been experimenting with that since July too. Everything you're saying, the intermittent fasting, keto diet,
all your
the semen retention. So I haven't spoke to you about any of this before, and in the last 6 months, I've been doing every single one of those things just all on my own. It comes to me, and that's just, and been extremely focused on fitness.
Yes, and you will be.
Oh yeah, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Because 80% of us double Siemens we are warriors. We are the wolves to keep the sheep safe. You know that. Our rage is there for a reason. We are not only loving and caring when we need to be, we can be the wolf also. That terrible side that we try to keep all our life might have to come through.
Well, it's a Simeon line, which means ape-like. We have a very strong primal energy, but it's kept under wraps, like you said, by a soft heart.
Yeah, it's the same as motherly love.
Yeah.
The love for a mother have for his child, that rage, that viril, that's what it's called. That's what we have. Yeah.
The prana.
Or magnetic field of the world. That's what people say, call it in science.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or chi, yeah. Now there's many things to come. Very exciting time for us doubles. Be careful for those who are not public yet. I will advise not to show for now.
Oh, okay. Well, you think we're being watched?
Each and every one of you are under attack, witchcraft. Each and every one of you are under witchcraft every day. Yeah. And there was many of your closest friends are witches. You don't know. You will see later, and the spirit will help you to differentiate who is your true friends or not.
Yeah, well, the one thing that's happened also in the last 6 months is my circle of people that I hang around with is that narrowed right down. But I've also started doing a lot of community service and service work, which is that's about the only outside social contact that I get. I've really been drawn to that too.
Yeah, it's really important, you know, to have that social contact, but also to keep yourself happy, because you cannot be a light for others if you're grumpy, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's you who's gonna be the light. You know,
well, that huge energy. That huge energy we have. I have to get up first thing every morning. I work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. On my days off, I get up at 6, 7 in the morning and run, workout, swim, sauna, steam until noon almost every day, 4 or 5 hours. And then even when I'm working, which is 12-hour shifts, I get up at 2 in the morning to work out from 2 in the morning to 4 in the morning before I start my shift at 5 in the morning. I go to bed at 6 p.m. right after dinner, but I have to do that now to feel good, to feel grounded. To fight off depression. Pardon me?
Do you actually go out? Do you go out ground yourself a lot?
I do lots of grounding. Yeah, I do lots of grounding exercises.
That's also animal contact, plant contact with plants. You know that plants and animals grow better around double cements.
Yeah, I'm big time into gardening.
Yeah.
I've heard this.
I'm into guppy farming, and my guppies is double or triple the size that normal. So I can prove it. Have been proving it for years.
Well, there you go.
And well, there's so many funny things, you know. That is not coincidences when thousands of people are the same, right? You know, it's not. This is real, and we're gonna prove that it's real for the people. And as I say, they're gonna read in a lot about the Book of Enoch, so they understand how we came to be, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's good enough. That story in itself is good enough to understand what we are. That and the Perakee together is then you get a grip of what we are. And yeah, we will find out so many truths, and I look forward to find out this truth with all of you, all of the double symbols. We need to reach as many double as we can.
You've spoken a few times about prophecy. Do you know any you can enlighten us about, or prophecies, double Simeon or Perakee?
Well, I can talk a little bit about the future for the Perakee. There's going to be a school, just as in the movies.
The Jedi school.
You know? It's going to be a school for us, people like us. Yeah, with martial arts and
to sign up.
And other spirituality, and we need teachers also, you know. And the older ones of us is going to be teachers for the younger generation, because you know, if you got this info at a young age, but who could you have become? You know?
Yeah, well, that's in the legend of Perakee. They took the kids away at 5 years old. The Parakees were taken away at 5 years old because the potential of them going to the dark side was too dangerous. And that's what I always think about. Is like I've just been out here on my own
Yeah.
my whole life, but I've always felt a higher purpose. And like you said, words like Elohim and 144,000, they've always piqued my, hey,
Yeah.
what? That's familiar. That's familiar. What is that? What is it? And I've always been drawn to those things. And even when I was 14, I was walking through the back of my mom's hair salon, and some lady says, "Who is that young man? Who is it? Bring him over here. Bring him over here." This old lady in curlers. She goes, "You're a Pleiadian. Do you know that? You've come here to save the world." That's what she told me when I was 14. And she didn't know nothing
That's
about the
what we
lines on
wear.
my hands or anything.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I had the lines on my hands until I was 22.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
and then
lots of
with the
strange
back.
synchronicities.
Oh yeah, the synchronicities in my life is insane. And I documented them because I'm Norwegian, you know. So I documented them so nobody can actually say I'm crazy or something like that. You have to take care of, you know, what we see is special. Normal people don't necessarily believe us. The double, we will watch this, me and you talk now. He knows because he also have been experienced the same as you.
Yeah.
You know, you have done the same things I told you about, you know, the intermittent fasting and all of those books and all those things.
Yeah.
And it's a reason because we are going up the same ladder each and every one of us, but some are a little bit forward than others. And that's what it is. It's nothing more special. Yeah. And there's a beautiful thing I have to say about doubles, because doubles have this value in them. That is why they are what they are. And that is that nobody in this world are worth more than you. Nobody. But nobody is worth less than you are.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
there's been an accelerated learning going on. Like I've always been interested, like I said, in the fringe and in the paranormal and all these things. But a couple years ago, I learned what a podcast was, and my job went from being really hands-on to sitting in a cab in this mining machine that I work in, and I have a radio now. So I've been listening to podcasts and books on tape for 2 years for 12 hours a day, and accelerated my learning a lot.
Yeah.
But the funny thing
Yeah.
that keeps happening is when I learn something, once an idea has come to me, oh wow, I've never heard of that, I better look into that. Then all these other podcasts I listen to, they start talking about it, and nobody communicated with each other, even right up to the Joe Rogan show and everything, a very mainstream one, are talking about egregores and stuff like that. And I'm like, what the hell? I just read a book on egregores in October, and I learn all about them. And then on Joe Rogan's talking about it in November. He didn't know what it was, and some paranormal guy is explaining to him what an egregore is. And just last month, I was explaining to my dad, this keeps happening to me. This keeps happening to me.
Yeah.
Later in the conversation, he says that it's kind of over and we're eating dinner. And he goes, "Oh, have you ever heard of such and such?" I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I said, "No." And he goes, "Oh, he's a poet, and you should look him up. I've heard a lot about him lately." And then I turn on a movie, and within 30 seconds of my dad saying that, they say the author that my dad just said right on the movie as soon as I turned the TV on. It was just unbelievable all the time, stuff like that happening.
I have a great story about my teeth.
Your teeth.
I'm probably the only one. Yeah. I have diamonds.
Oh, nice.
Zircoin. I had bad teeth before, so I think yeah, it's a big story. But anyway, after I fixed them, I had gum retention, right? So I asked the spirit to show me, to help me. What he gave me was this video of Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson, right? Where they both are on Carnivore, and I've been following Carnivore for many years, but I always thought that, yeah, it's too extreme. You know, I just put it out. And then it came again, and then they both were talking about how it had fixed their gum retention for both of them in this video.
Oh, wow.
I said, okay, thank you. I know, you know, so I changed. Then many years ago, since I started to have this kind of intention, I started saving money so I could go back here to Thailand to fix it, you know. And I saved up this money and I came down last summer after COVID, prepared to actually use a lot of money on my teeth or gums. And but then I already been 6 to 8 months on carnivore, like 100% carnivore when I was home, more or less 100% carnivore. And the dentist told me, no, it's gonna be good. All you need is a deep clean, and it's gonna grow back. It's already growing back.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I've never taken the leap. I've been doing the fasting and the keto. I haven't taken the leap to pure carnivore, but now it seems like maybe it would be a good idea to try.
Oh, I got all the science because I asked the spirit. Why? Because I know that I have to give answers to people, right?
Yep.
So it's basically very simple. Plants are poisonous. They've always been poisonous for humans. It's not to be consumed, but are to be consumed as medicine. It's different than eating the same herb every day.
Right. Yeah.
It's very different.
Just use it to treat something rather than eating raspberries every day or eating oats every day. Or that I could see that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also, the message I got: nothing on the ground, no potatoes, nothing on the ground.
Damn it, I'm Irish.
Overground vegetables, yes, but less than 50 grams. You should go. It's very important that you're to the process of going towards no food. You have to go, and that's why you're learning about fasting, intermittent fasting, and carnivore, because all those three have to be your body, put your body in ketosis,
Yep.
so that you can start not having fuel from carbohydrates and start healing your body. That's what it is about for now. A later stage, when the communities are up, that is when people will start going over to more vegetables and fruit-based things, depending on where they are in the world. Me being in Norway is limited in the Arctic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Short growing season.
Well, I have the whole thing. I know everything about how to make food in the Arctic. I studied that for X amount of years. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of light when you do. When you do get light in the summer, you have it for a lot of hours a day. You just need to know how to utilize that.
Yeah, 24 hours a day.
For sure.
Yeah. I need a secret story.
That's I still smoke too, but I'm down to about 2 or 3 a day.
I shouldn't because I'm training, but it's my thinking. Yeah, you know that is very so I'm gonna explain a little bit about cigarettes, weed, and us. Now, earlier I told you that George Lucas got this story about the Jedi's from the Jed, right?
Yeah, they're from the DJEDI, right?
Yes,
like the
it's
jinn.
From Egypt
So
and
from, is this Islamic or Egypt that this story comes from?
both.
Oh, okay.
Both. And in between. And in between those countries, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, to understand it better, it's better to see the Tibetan Buddhism way, because it's described better, so you understand how George Lucas got his names from. Now, what I'm saying is that double Siemens always had a connection to weed, and much of my studies to double Siemens makes us, for example, we are in the Hinduism, we are the Vanaras, and those were made because the yans, or the part of the jinns that we are coming from, the yans,
Yep.
was after the original sin, because after the original sin, the spirit asked the other demigods to make more sex with daughters of men, to make more Vanaras, aka double Siemens as we are,
Okay.
to equalize what is coming. So we are the opposite
Okay.
of what is ruling the world today, right? Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we are. Yeah. Now I fall off my thought pattern. Sometimes I fall off.
The
Sorry.
yin and the yang, George Lucas, Star Wars, bringing it from Egypt.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Islam.
And George Lucas used the term Skywalker, right? And that
Yeah.
term is also in belief in Tibetan Buddhism, because there you have the Skywalkers on us, which is a turte. A turte is what we are there, which is a Skywalker. And a Skywalker is also called a wisdom dakini. And the wisdom dakini is where we come to play, which is half human, half spirit.
So they call double Simeon Skywalkers in Tibet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy! I learned something new all the time when I talk to you.
And the prophecy is that we are finding the sword of light, and we are going to find the sword of light. But that is energy, as you know. That is manipulation of energy. Yeah. That is the sword of light. Yeah. It's not like they believe it is. That is manipulation of the magnetic field, the energy on it. Yeah.
Right.
And when I further researched the groups which we were part of, you can follow them to a part of Ukraine, for example. You had the Scythians. And the Scythians were also double Siemens, and they used weed, and they only drank, I think it was horse milk and honey. Think about this. When I say carnivore, you see the link?
Yeah.
Yeah. And those things I can show special. And for example, you heard about the movie 300, about King Leonidas of Greece going towards the Persian. Yeah. Yeah. But there is a special kind of people that were called the mountain people that were coming from India, which was the Vanaras, which were the real original 300. But then don't talk about them even in like the Greek historians, and it's not in the movie. The movie is Greek Spartans. They're not Spartans, the original ones, the real story of that. Yeah.
Right. I wonder.
They were double Siemens.
Do the assassins have anything to do then with Perakee? Because they used to get right stoned on hash. That's the hash assassins.
Yeah.
Would get all stoned
Exactly.
up on hash and
exactly, but that's where you find that they were kidnapping these people with this, and they took them and made hashashins out of them, because they, as I say, it's the deep connection with us and we throughout history. Yeah, double Siemens. We have used it to come in contact with the spirit, basically. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I can't eat it. I can smoke it.
I
have to be very, very light, because I can come into if I smoke too much or if I eat even at all, I start coming into fifth dimension reality, where thoughts start manifesting like right away, and I get freaked out. Like, don't think bad thoughts. Don't think bad thoughts. Like it gets intense. Just need to learn how to focus better.
Yeah, focus is important.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting time.
Yeah.
Very interesting time. And for the future, there's gonna be so many bad things coming now. I'm really not like to talk so much about it. But you all know what it says in the Bible. I can confirm everything coming. Everything. The mark is coming. Everything is coming.
The battle between good and evil.
That part of the Bible is true. That part of the Bible is true. And the reason, because it's true, is because they want you to manifest it. You already manifested it.
Yeah. Just like they're trying to get everybody to manifest World War III right now. They keep the news.
Exactly. They already manifested World War III.
Yeah, and
it's already happened.
Everybody's listening to it and making it trying. That's how they make it happen, because everybody's jointly manifesting in the world.
That's why I say I only talk about the nature side. Prefer to talk about the happy thing that's going to be happening. People are going to come together and understand the rewards of talking truth and what the spirit actually can do for you. You get whatever you want, but you have to work together.
Yeah.
You have to work together. And when people come together,
we need to get the call out to the other double Simeons and Perakees. We need to get a Jedi school going.
Well, the order of the Jed is up from this year. And that is, we are both members there automatically, as we are born into that. That is a right every double Simeon have. But also, we have to respect the single Simeons, because they can also come and help us, because they can be taught to find mind and heart in both. Yeah. So, in the prophecy of Tibetan Buddhism, they portray it like we are the wildlings that can do magic from birth, doubles, and the singles are the ones that can be taught to do magic easily.
Okay.
Yeah, and I say it's very much truth in that. But I also say that every human is a call, but it's very hard for them because they live in this illusion. So they are not able to wrap their mind around it, so to speak, to use the mind in such a way to foresee what they see, what they speak, or consequences. The reality of the world, how it really works.
Right. Yeah.
But they will.
Yeah, that's a lot reminds me of Rosicrucianism, that there's three stages of people. There's people that are conscious that something's going on, but they're not quite sure it is. There's two that can start communicating with God or whatever gods or whatever spirit, whatever religion you want to be with. It's all the same. And then there's the adept, the third stage, that their head and heart are one. And even Jesus said that if you put your mind and emotion together, you can move mountains, right?
Yeah, but that's what we do.
Yeah.
We have that. We can move mountains.
Yeah.
We just have to decide we can. And the things I've done lately, people wouldn't believe it, but I'm documenting it. You see, because people need in this world, people need this is people really need papers on things that is true or something,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's hard for us to. It's a personal experience, a journey, and you can't ever explain to somebody else the synchronicities. Journaling it is a terrific idea. I wish I would have done that a long time ago, but I remember most of mine because they're quite significant, so I should write them down. It wouldn't be quite as good because I'm writing them down in retrospect, but still, just
doesn't matter. Yeah, like documenting them when they happen is really important, because you remember the details, and you can take a picture of it. I can take a video of it, whatever happened, Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what happened. This is what I said to him. That happened, And of course, I am also a prophet, as you are. I can see daily things that happen. So small things that maybe not matters, but I still see them, Yeah. That's gonna happen with you. That's gonna happen with you.
So, can you explain more the Tibetan prophecy? What did they say? What did they say the double Simeon will do?
Save the world. We are the dragon reborn. Now this is so funny. It's insane. You heard about the Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. Yeah,
I've heard of it, but I've never read it.
Okay, the Wheel of Time of Robert Jordan is basically the same as George Lucas did with the Cabal info he did and put it in his universe. What Robert Jordan did was take Tibetan Buddhism prophecies and put them in other universe, but described as that kind of Buddhism tell that this world actually is. like 7 realities, dream world, 2 different dream worlds, etc., etc. Parallel universes and such things. But what is interesting in that is that everything there is synchronized with my life in insane manners. Like Randall Thor, the main character of those books, is born on Dragon Mount. I am born in Dragon Mount, in the mouth of the dragon. That's where I'm born, if you use the
in Norway?
Norse translation.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in a town called Trondheim, but it was called Nidaros before, and Nidaros means the mouth of the big dragon, or the big snake. Yeah. Nid is the snake that eat himself, around in Nordic mythology. Yeah, it's Nid, N-I-D, Nid. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what it means. I also, of course, studied the connections to us on Nordic side, where we are called berserkers and werewolves.
Oh, okay.
In Nordic mythology.
And they used to take mushrooms before they would
Not
attack.
before battle. No, weed.
Was it weed? Okay, I've read before that they would take mushrooms and basically turn into where like unstoppable men.
No, that was the weed that made them.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's not only the Scythians who used weed in fight as a berserker. It's also used today, and I can prove it. I can actually do it. Show people how to go to berserk. Yeah. You can put any superstar martial artist in any bag, and I'll do just as good as it. Over 1 hour. Yeah. I'm not that fit, but I will do it because I know how to put myself in berserker mode. Yep. That is actually using your feelings, because you know what we doubles have that many others don't have, is that we dare to feel. We dare to actually feel the feeling. Yeah, we like to get sad sometimes,
Yeah.
I'm sure you look at a sad movie and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could cry because of some commercials are really emotional. No, I know what you mean.
We feel those emotions. We can relate so much. We are super empath, In Indian language, they or the English language, I actually taken the word heyoka from the Indians. The heyoka now means the highly empath, the highest kind of empath that you can be.
Yeah.
But the heyoka was actually the name they used on us doubles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Heyoka, V something.
I've
which is
known
also
how
a
to use my emotions with running and stuff like that. Especially, I put on the right kind. I always smoke weed before I work out every day. That's the first thing I do, and then I put on really emotional music.
That's why I say, you're a berserker. You're already doing it. I already told you they did it, and now you tell me you're doing it.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Because when you smoke, you can go through a barrier that you normally cannot go through. It's a mental barrier.
Right. Yeah, especially in intense workouts, I use really emotional music, and that doesn't mean like hard rock and stuff like that. Lots of stuff is stuff that's very dear to my heart, good memories, some very painful, and I can use that pain and run even longer and faster and harder. But
and that's how you use it.
Meditation.
What you described.
Pardon me?
Exactly what you're describing now is a form of meditation that brings you in trance. It takes you over the top, and you don't feel a thing, Brad. That is going berserk.
That's what I do when I'm running.
I know how to do it, and you just described it.
Yeah.
Right?
When I'm running, I go into I'm not even there. I'm completely in third eye vision world when I'm running, and I'm not. I can't even feel my body. And then the timer goes off. I ran half hour, 5 kilometers. I'm like, I could run another 5, like nothing. Like it's
that's where I'm
out of body.
That's what I do when I do my Thai. I'm on the back or I'm on the pads training here. Up. And here is pretty cool because weed is legal here. It's not legal for me to use where I come from, though. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're all legal in
Yeah.
Canada.
I don't condone people or advise people to use it. So just so people know, that's an individual thing, in my perspective. Yeah. There are people who need it, and there are people who don't need it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it intensifies anything. If you're a lazy person, it'll probably make you lazier. If you're an intense person, it'll make you more intense, more emotional. Yeah, for
If
sure.
you use it with a good intention to do something good, then it's a good thing. If you use it to
Right.
binge watch, then maybe it's not such a good thing.
No, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I always want to move when I smoke pot. I don't know. That's what it does for
Oh,
me.
I want to go sparring or
Yeah.
do my martial art. Yeah.
Yeah. I working out and like lots of yard work, lots of trimming hedges and cutting trees and mowing lawns and just puttering around, listening to podcasts. So is
Yeah.
there anything else, any other we've done the Tibetan Buddhist type prophecies? Is there any other prophecies that you
Oh, I've
studied?
gone through all of the prophecies. So, well, you mentioned Rosicrucian, so we can talk about the Rosicrucian. Like I
Sure.
say, it's so much. I studied all of it, but it is very, very complex. And like the Rosicrucian side of it, it's very cool. Because you can start with the coming race. That book you have been in touch with, right?
No, not yet. No.
Then write it down. The coming race that you need to check out.
Okay.
It was written by a Rosicrucian in 1880, 1890 or something around there. And it describes his meeting with this kind of spirits, half spirits, in an underworld.
Okay.
He was, yeah. And that is actually where very connected to Jewish belief. From the Jewish belief, the Messiah is going to come from on the earth, and
From under.
Christianity, yeah,
Okay.
from the sky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I say is this. I say this is true. As above, so below. Meaning,
right.
There's a sun here, there's a sun there.
Right.
There's an inner world, there's a sky world.
Okay, so that has to do with like inner Earth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got civilizations everywhere that talk about the inner Earth. It's always been a fascinating topic.
And those were the original ones who later became Atlantis. They came up from inner world. They didn't come from anywhere else. They come from inner world. As you read in the Bible, the spirits was already here on earth long before humans, right?
Okay.
And that's where they were. Yeah. Both on the inside and outside, and still are in the inside.
Yeah, I believe that.
Because
There's too many legends, like from Admiral Byrd being one of the latest ones. All the way back, Native Americans. They say the Germans were in the Swiss mountains, going into tunnels in there. Australians, in Asia, everywhere they talk about beings from the earth, and that you had to do fasting to go in to be able to enter that world. Like some people, they would let some certain tribes in, but only if everybody in the tribe was fasting.
But you might not come out.
Yeah.
You might go in, but you might not come out. I'll show you how they look because I've been in contact. So that is how they prefer.
The reptiles.
It's a dragon-like humanoid with snake, and some of them have wings, and that they are shapeshifters, as you know. It's not such thing as aliens. There's only spirits.
Yeah.
And many of them prefer to be in reptilian kind of body. That's what they prefer, depending on what they want to do with you. If they want to scare you or whatever.
Right.
They wanted to scare me for sure, and I was scared, really scared.
Yeah.
But I'm not
No
scared
doubt. So
anymore.
tell us about that. You got to tell us about that encounter. How did that happen?
Oh man, that was crazy, crazy, and it just happened just over there in
No
a
way.
place called Paradise. Huh?
I said, no way.
Really? It did. And actually, you know, the Thai word for this is Naga or Naka, Naka. And where I am is very close to Naka Market, and the biggest temple in Thailand is just over here. So it's a
Okay.
very special place. You see, the place I'm at now, Brad, is a place where the soldiers, I wouldn't even call them soldiers, that's a bad word. The warriors of the spirit is preparing for the last battle.
Okay.
It's called Fighter Street or Soi Thai. It's a very unique place in the world. Most of people who know anything about MMA or Muay Thai or fitness knows about this street. Comes thousands and thousands of people a year. And it's a very special place, spiritual place. It's a nice place.
Cool.
And it's protected by the spirit. Place. But there are snakes here. But these people that I met, right, they are the ones who are going to come up and take the cool one at the end.
Okay.
Not the
How,
bad ones.
pardon me?
They are not the bad ones.
Okay.
These spirits is not the bad ones. Just because they look like a reptilian and look scary doesn't mean
Sure.
they are bad. Yes.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that these are the ones that in the Bible is described to take the evil one when it's all finished. They are the ones that are going to come up. And when it gets dark, as it says in the Bible, it's going to come a darkness period. Whether how long it is, who got right, if it's 3, 6, 7, or if it's days or weeks or months or years, we don't know, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, we should be inside. Most likely it's 3 days. Most of us agree on 3 days. In 3 days of darkness, stay inside and you pray.
Yeah, I've
You
heard
don't
that
go out.
when you hear the trumpet sound, close your windows, close your doors, and
Going,
yeah.
going, because that's when they are coming, spirits. But that's a long time until they're there. Long time, luckily.
Okay.
So because people need this time to repent.
Right. So
Hmm?
you got to go
And get
back.
out of
How did you meet the reptile person? Do you run into them on the street, or you got to explain that story to me? That's fascinating.
well, actually, it's a kind of sad story because I've been. It was one of the time when I was in Thailand. Um, I'm not sure I'm comfortable right now to talk about the
Okay, that's
whole
fine. That's
story.
okay.
Um, yeah, it was very personal story, and I think that it needs a serious episode of itself. Actually,
Okay,
basically,
we could do that.
but I didn't talk with them, but I experienced something with them, and um, I know now what they are. Yeah, after and I had some experiences where other masters in this street, high level authorities here, I've seen the same at
Okay.
the very same day or morning. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And it's all connected in yeah, and in synchronicity. And it has to do with Buddhism and some of the higher people in Buddhism. So that's why I'm a little bit concerned about telling the whole story here now, because I
Okay.
don't think I get the full context in. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But they are real.
Even the Buddhists I've read, they have portals and doorways into the inner world that they guard and don't let anybody know about, and that the halls and records of man are down there, and our true history and stuff like
They're
that.
not. They're not going down. They're not able to go down. That's why they tried to make a deal with the Germans.
Oh,
They're not gaining access. The American military have been trying for years. They cannot
okay.
get in. We can get in, not them.
Uh-oh, don't let them know
Not them.
that.
They already know that they cannot go in, but there's also openings in astrology. That it's not my strongest thing, but there are opening that has to do with the moon phases also to the
Okay,
underworld. Yeah, on special places to special moon phases and etc. etc. And it
yeah,
also has to do with when they have the ability to go out. They have to go inside again. Yeah.
okay,
Those who live in cannot stay out there. They transform, you see, to
right.
more of a body. They come here, as it described in the Bible also, that the spirits who come here, they transform into something, they transcend into something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've read about the inner Earth many times, and that the reptiles are down there, but also many, many other species. But like you
Mhm.
said, your research that they're not aliens, so they're just spirits that take other forms. Then I guess when they've been encountered or
Well,
something by different tribes.
there are different, you see here, let's talk about spirits. And spirits can be bound to a place, and then they look different in every nation.
Okay.
You have different looking, if they are placed on things, Then you have, if you call, have you heard about Rosemary Ellen Gilly?
Yes.
Yes, she's like this unique person in UFO. So the spirit, when I asked the spirit to show me what was real, he showed me that, and that was what she basically. What the spirit says is it's only spirits, but there are different kinds of spirits, but we call them only spirits. There's not aliens, so to speak, but they show themselves to you as what you are most scared of. They
Right.
scan your consciousness, right? And they
So you might
reflect. Like
see
in
an
the Harry
alien.
Potter movie. The Harry Potter movie, when they have this cabinet and whatever you fear the most,
Right.
that's the same principle, okay?
So that's a lot
Because
like
there's truth in
that Skinwalker Ranch and places like that.
it.
Maybe magnetic anomalies or something. Two people can be there. Three people. One see an alien. One see a Sasquatch. One see a dog man. One see a ghost. It's along
Mhm.
the same lines as that. It sounds quite similar.
Yeah. And also, Skinwalker is what we are in the Nordic mythology. They are called
Shapeshifters.
Skinwalkers.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Because we are the same as them, right? But we are half. But we have lost the knowledge on how to do it. But you can go inside another human, and you can go just like in the Game of Thrones movie, actually. And this was recorded and written about by a double Simeon, how he did it. And that was Joralf Gjerstad from Norway. He was a very famous healer. I've written about him on the Perakee site before.
Okay.
And he went inside the head of a German soldier. After World War II, he was placed. He was in this healer from Norway was placed in Germany as a security somewhere, and they were at the shooting field. And there was a drunk German behind the targets, and he could sense that. So basically, what he did was go inside his head and get him to move. And there's multiple witnesses what he did and things like what he did to this, and but he didn't really understand what he was doing. He said he
Okay.
wrote himself, and then also he also experienced like all us, and he wrote in depth about all the encounters with uh, gypsy fortune tellers and what they call us, and
Yep.
yeah,
That's how I found out
yeah. So all
about
of
this
this,
was
yeah,
a
me
palm.
too.
I was at a full moon ceremony, and they had a palm reader there, and she's going along reading
Mhm.
everything. And she seen mine. Oh my god, freaked right out. Right? She said this can either be really, really good or really, really bad.
Like, so in Nordic mythology, we are called have a lot of stories about us, but the stories is more not that we change shape shift directly, but that we can go inside the mind of wolf, especially wolves and bears.
Oh,
And
okay.
that is why we used to have the skin on us, because we can then connect and visualize how it is to be a bear or how to be a wolf. And then
Get
we can
this.
actually go out. Yeah.
This you can ask anybody in my family. I dream of bears
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
I dream
But you
dream
can
of
be inside that might be your true dreaming, and that you're actually inside a bear
well,
experiencing a
I'm always
bear's.
dreaming that it's like there's lots of bears. I'm hiking or I'm with my children hiking and so and there's tons of bears and like we got to get the heck out of there. That's usually what I'm dreaming. I haven't
Yeah,
dreamed
that's
into
it.
them.
Very
Maybe
scared of them.
I just have to be the bear. But we have some pretty big bears here in Canada.
There's also a lot of connection, in Nordic mythology and Viking history, especially Viking history, about these people and what they were capable of. All the stories of all the Viking stories have us or people like us included. It's not like when the biggest kings like went needed to make a message from Norway to Iceland, for example. The king asked one who was a berserker to transform himself to a whale and go to Iceland with a message.
Okay.
This is the story.
Yeah.
So, in some way, shape, or form, there either it's truth behind it, but what is really the truth? We don't, because we cannot do it. But I know we can go inside a human. Therefore, we should also be able to go inside an animal.
Right. I've read somewhere an adept. They weren't necessarily speaking about a parakeet, but or a double Simeon, but they were born an adept. That back in the days, back in ancient times, that they would send messages like that through a shaman, through a psychic, could send a message
Mhm.
ahead to the next city that the Romans are coming or somebody's coming. Faster than a
Yes.
pigeon, faster than anything. They could go inside the mind of a person and say, "Hey, they're coming.
Yes.
You better get ready," or something. So maybe
Yeah.
through allegories or parables or allegories or mythology, that's the way they're describing it through it. He became an eagle and flew through the sky and brought the message. Right? It's hard to decode these things.
People think that it's so long ago that these skills were known about, but it's not that long ago that we were known about.
Right?
You heard about mud flood and things like that?
Titaria, mud flood. Yeah, that's pretty
Tataria.
fascinating. Yeah.
Tataria is another name of the Toltecs,
Okay.
but at another continent, of course, in the Russian
Right.
continent, or Russia and Asia, Minor
Yeah.
Asia Minor. Yeah. Um, so, and they look different. Some of them brown-headed, some of them red-headed. Also, interestingly, because the story about us, that when you trace back to Atlantis, you can also use another name for it, and that is Aryan, right?
Okay.
Aryan, Atlantis, Toltecs, all those are the same people that came up from the underground,
Okay.
or was passed halfway underground, halfway on land, you could say, like in caves and things like that, in caves, and live in caves. And they
Okay.
lived to that up until the 1900s in Russia.
Then they came
That's
out
true.
from the inner earth. You're saying?
Yeah, there were Tartarian people who were still in this world, living
Oh
in this
yes, yes,
world
yes.
in the early 1900s before they
Yeah,
killed them all.
yeah. And there's even
Yeah.
maps. People have
That's what
maps
I'm saying.
of
And
the
I don't say that
Tartaria
they
on it.
come up then. No? They lived at that time. Yeah. And you can also see that. Why do you think you have 4 meter, 5 meter high doorways all over the world?
Yeah, yeah. The giants. Yeah, and the giants are found
That's the
everywhere too.
Tartarian. That's that's why you call the old one, and they were the giants but you're both the same. Think back to the Book of Enoch now in the history, right?
Right.
In Bible, we are the old ones. The Jeds in Egypt were called the old ones because we are reincarnated thousands and thousands of times. And
Yeah.
when I talked before, we could remember our past lives. Therefore, we were very smart every time we lived. But if you read about the Jeds, you will see that they are blessed to live extraordinary lives over and over and over and over and over.
Yes. That's funny.
Book of
That's
the
what
Dead.
they. Yeah, the Pleiadians. I got the lady that said I was a Pleiadian here to save the world when I was 14. She gave me a book, and that's what it said, that we're very old souls that come here to
You
fight and
call
fight.
that, that's what the revolution says. The
Yeah.
revolution, remember what it says there?
What's that?
The old man, you remember what it says in the Revolution, Book of Revolution in the Bible?
What's that? Oh, at Revelations. Yeah. What's that?
The old men of renown
Yep.
that's going to come back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the reference in the Bible to us, the old ones. And the Jets and the old ones, if you go to like I say also, I also had some visions about the Jet pillars, you know. The Jet pillars are conductors of energy and will be how we can actually find a light sword.
So is that like Boaz and Jacob,
And
like the same in masonry and stuff like that?
well, they use symbols in masonry, yes,
Yeah, and the Kabbalah.
because masonry and other stuff, other orders, most other orders, have used the secret knowledge to only themselves, kept it hidden.
Yes.
That's what's gonna change, right? So that's what's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
change. That's what we are doing. It's
Yeah,
nothing
well,
else
and
that we are doing. We are putting
I've
that
been
out.
I've been studying. I got the book, The Mystical Kabbalah, a couple weeks ago, and that's what they're
Yeah.
showing is the two pillars, and the one in the middle is you, and it goes lower and it goes higher than the two pillars, and it's like the positive and the negative, the light and the dark, and
Oh, okay.
you got a
No,
balance between that.
The Jet pillars is a hieroglyph from Egypt.
Yeah.
They don't actually know what it is, but it says in the Book of Dead that Ankh Jed was, right? And so it's used, this conductor hieroglyph is used for the word Jed, so meaning us, right? But what it
Okay.
actually do, they don't
I
show.
don't know.
But there are Jed pillars all over the world, especially in Egypt. What I'm saying is, if you're getting me or any other double Jed pillars in all the metal there is, and some crystal granite in between us, conductors and something like that, we will find all that is used, and we will find anti-gravity with 2 of them, and we will find a light sword with 1 of them.
Really?
Yeah, really.
We got to book plane tickets to Egypt then, brother.
All we need to do is start experimenting. People who have more experience than me with electricity. I don't have that kind of knowledge about conductivity and what it is, but I can manipulate energy. All of us can.
Yeah.
So we have to test them. We have to basically make them and test them and see if we can conduct experiments with different kind of methods. Yeah, on those. That is also one of the futures that we're gonna do. Well, let me finish with a little bit of the Jed prophecies that I have.
Okay.
The Jed is gonna collect in one order with one single motto. There is one tribe. That's it. That's the motto. That's the goal. It's to gather humankind in one tribe.
Makes sense to me.
Hmm?
I said that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and there will be an order. It's going to be a school. It's going to be a kind of a headquarter, or call it what you want. And there's going to be colors, just like that's why they have the colors in Perakee, because I think Perakee also is a prophecy. It's not only a story; it's also a prophecy. The red, well, we are not going to be called Perakee. We're going to be called Jets. And the red jet is the void. The yellow red will be the healer. The white jet will be the mediator, the diplomat,
Yep.
yeah, and so forth. Yeah, and green will be agriculture. Yeah, and you will have different path of life paths.
Right.
Within different groups, yeah, but they're all in a Perakee sense. They are all white Perakee. They are not different Perakee color. They're all made contact with the spirit. Yeah.
Right. Makes sense.
And they are gonna fight the last battle. That's what we are here for. The last battle.
It's a freaky thing and a weird thing, a heavy thing to have on your head all the time. But I mean, it's something that's there's been lots of signs and synchronicities and things under my path of learning, and we've come to many of the exact same things through. Well, that's how we met each other, everything like that.
Yes.
It's really crazy, and I've studied all the same things, every religion, everything. You know, I'm no expert on any one, but I've dabbled in almost all of them, and you find synchronicities and the same stories over and over again, and yeah, that's why Rosicrucianism has made the most sense to me, and I was drawn to it through synchronicity, and
Yep.
they just basically show and tell all the religions are the same one. It's still all the
Yes.
same force, life force, spirit, or whatever, and different interpretations and times in different lands. And be good and do good. And they said they'll teach you Jedi powers, they'll teach you psychic powers, but you cannot use them for yourself. You can only use them for
Yes.
other people and for the betterment
You,
of everybody.
it's true. And you cannot take paid. You cannot take payment. You can receive what the heart of the other one give you. The payment of the universe you can receive, and that's it. So that we are real shamans, you and me. You know, we are not posters. Yeah.
No,
We cannot break this code. If we break this code, you know, we are no more. Yeah. So it's what it is. I'm really looking forward to the road forward. You know, it's gonna be so much positivity with all the bad things. There'll be so much positivity. People are gonna excel in these communities. They're gonna have access to things they never have access to. They're gonna be secure in their environment. They're gonna have a home that is safe and sound for the children. You know, it's not gonna be a school where the school hunts you down and put political views in you, or you know, all these things have to end.
Yeah, the institutions, the indoctrination has to end and be. We need harmony and yeah, people need to be living in the kids need to be living in the community and not stuck in a seat all day and in a room that's all stuff. They need to be learning farming, learning carpentry, you know, learning how to grow plants, learning how to, you know, learning their Jedi abilities.
And that's where we come. and that's also one that I see myself in the future. I know that I'm going to make a community. I know I'm going to make animals and show people how to make this one ecosystem, you know. And it's no coincidence. It's tilapia fish is part of it, which is the Jesus fish,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know everything about insect farming because insect farming we're going to do, but we are not eating the insects. Swab can have his insects.
Yeah.
No, our animals is going to eat the insects, and we're going to make a lot of healthy uh, animals, and we're going to treat them right to make them have a good life. And there's so many things that we need to learn people how to do. Yeah, and that's where the halo comes in. You see, all of the 144,000 have a halo. You know how it's depicted in art, like this
Yeah.
yellow thing around me, like a corona around you. Yeah. What that actually is when you as a double find the light within you, other people see you as an inspiration, even if you don't know it, because they have seen how far down you have been in your life and
Yep.
how you will turn around these coming years.
Yeah.
Yeah. These
Yeah.
coming years you will turn around.
I can really relate to that. That's I've had a rough go last few years or my whole life, right? I've never been a saint or this or that, but I've had a good heart and done the best I can, work my ass off down in
You
the
have a good
mines.
heart.
Yeah.
You're
But right,
pure. You're a Rephaim, which means the pure ones.
yeah. But I can really feel
Yeah.
things changing around and an urgency to be balanced and grounded and start moving towards those ways, like you
More
said.
happy.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
more truthful. Yeah. And take whatever punishment comes your way for being that.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't go down. Don't go under for pressure in this society. Also the halo, just to finish that, that we doubles when we go inside a room, I can change the energy of that room in a second. I can make
Yeah.
it very positive or I can make it very negative
Oh yeah.
very quickly. That is the halo, because everybody you attract attention.
Yeah.
That's the halo.
Yeah.
You see,
I
people see you. They see you.
I've always done that, like at work in the large groups and in the morning meetings before we go down in the mine. I'm very sensitive when there's big groups of
Mhm.
people, and so I'm always a joker. I'm always keeping everybody laughing, everybody keeping it upbeat. It's more of a selfish thing. It's just so I feel, because going down into a mine is not a very happy, good thing. Lots of people can have pretty pessimistic attitudes and be bummed out. They got to go to work and this not so. I don't like that feeling because I could feel it coming off other people. So I always try to tell a bunch of jokes and, act like a jackass, usually a comedian, and get the mood elevated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've always done for sure. Well, do you have any
Yeah, it's
other
interesting.
prophecies or history?
Oh, I can talk for 24 hours. Like, I think it was Jordan Peterson who said that if somebody truly have contact with the spirit, they could sit there and talk. And I can actually do that. I can tell you. I would rather put it the other way around. What do you want to know?
What do I want to know? Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
just probably more like my question would be is like fun. And I probably know the answer already. The answer is within ourselves, but that's what I think. Like I've been alone with no teacher, no guidance, right? I'm a Jedi, I'm a Perakee, but I don't know what to do. But like you say, through the
You're a wild
synchronicities,
one.
I guess it's happening. It's happening
Yeah.
like
You're
already for me,
learning.
coming within, yeah, and just be
You
grounded
just
and be
have to
healthy.
trust the process.
Yeah,
Trust the process. You're at the right time, at the right place, whatever you do.
yeah, exactly where
And you need
exactly
to
where I
trust
need to
that
be.
because the spirit wants you to be there. I know because I know, yeah, it was you. I'm not going to say that on live. I've been in contact with another double who had contact with you just a few
Okay.
days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know you're on the right path when it comes
Okay.
to the community part of it. Now you
Oh,
understand what I mean.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Because as I say, it's really important. Also a warning to all that are double Siemens. Don't go tell everybody. Not from if you haven't exposed yourself to this point, there's
Right.
no point in doing so from now on.
Okay.
When this story is gonna explode, because this story is gonna explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're already out there. I've already been out there for a couple years with this podcast now, almost 2 years. There's no
Well,
going
I
back
got
now.
a couple of days ago. I got from the spirit that my vacation is over.
Oh, okay.
So,
Time to get
shout
to
off
work.
the warning. Yeah, shout off the warning. Warning, it comes now. And then this is my warning to the double Simeon. It's time to take this serious.
Yeah.
This is your life. And everybody else's life. We are not here to save the world. We are here to change the world, not save it.
Yeah.
So very big
There's,
difference.
there's something coming. I could feel it. I felt it my whole life, but intensely now since last summer. Something's building up. Something is telling me to start training, be very healthy, be very grounded, no drinking, no this, no that. I'm not perfect, but I try
Yeah,
really hard to be living a clean life. I usually end up having a few beer the day we get out of mining camp, and then
good
I'm like,
enough.
yeah, one day a month that's good
Good
enough for
enough.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. You follow your own belief, and I urge everybody trust the spirit and follow their own way. The way is not uh, alike for anyone. For anyone, it's for some it can be good to take a beer. Somebody should absolutely not touch that beer. To
Yeah.
put it that way, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. To each their own. Yeah. Yeah.
Each to them all. Yeah. Think
Well,
yourself. Ask yourself.
we're going on 2 hours now. Usually my podcasts are only an hour. Not I could talk to you all day too, but is is
Yeah.
there any we could do more episodes, but is there any other pertinent information you would like to get out to other parakeets or for people to learn about parakeets or double simians?
Yeah, I can just take a quick recap of what I think they should, if they want to learn more, what names they should study,
Yeah.
because the names matter. So well, you have the double Simeon, and then you
Yeah.
have all the scientific names, the Parker's crest that they call it now. They don't even call it Simeon because it's wokeness now.
Oh,
I
okay.
call it Simeon, and then I say that we, the double Simeon, is the one who should decide what we are
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
Is one thing, yeah. The other one is Perakee. You need to read the story about the Perakee. The Suri is within Islam. Is Suri, the old ones, and the Jed, and the Jed stories within Sufi Islam. Those together is based the
But
story.
that Jed is spelled with a
Then,
D, right? D-J-E-D?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
T-J-E-D. Yeah,
Okay.
Jed. You can also say Jedi
Yeah.
with an I on the end. Yeah.
Yeah. I read about that.
So it's spelled different.
D-J-E-D-I. Yeah.
Suhri is Souhri.
Okay.
Suhri. Yeah. Then in Madagascar, they are called Yuri with a J. Yuri. Okay. Sorry for butchering the pronunciation,
That's okay.
But very interesting in Madagascar is that there I have directly proof that we are the royals and also that we are sun worshippers. And it's through the story of the Yuri. And we have a few members on the Perakee side that I talked to about this, and especially the Madagascar thing, because yeah, it's a very interesting and small place and easy to get the history.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's an interesting place to study this. In New Zealand, the Maori,
Yep.
We are the Tuhunga. The Tuhunga.
Okay.
Which means professional, because we are so good at it. If you think about a single Simeon, he's a very good professional in his trade. A single Simeon, not a double. Yeah, a double is too extreme normally to do that. But he's a double Simeon is extremely good if he's alone, have a company of his own. That's what I found. Single ones are professionals, and that's why they took in that culture. They call us professionals, basically.
Oh, that's crazy.
In Nordic, it's berserker, and it's everything towards a skin changer. We have different variants in Iceland, Norway, Swedish, different variation of the words skin and chaser. Skin chaser, actually, they call it skin chaser. So that is very interesting to read. And also the connection between historically between Perakee and the werewolf myth is to Icelandic story about the berserker and his father, who was named werewolf, Kveldsulfur, which means night wolf. Directly translated. Yeah.
Night wolf.
So you have many, night wolf.
That's a cool name.
And in the Perakee, they are night wolves. Everything is connected with wolves or tigers or bears or jaguars or whatever we have on our heads. And it's the same story. And also very beautiful and very important for our story is that you can also call the name Aryan about us. And that is not what they said in Second World War and connected that to a skin color and a hair color.
The Aryans, No, I've heard about. I've heard about the Aryans being an alien race from the inner Earth, or that are in the inner Earth, and that that's actually some of even like the signs of the swastika and stuff are from them, but that it's misrepresented through the Nazis, like because the Buddhists had inner Earth access, and they had that. The Hindus, they had that symbol, and that they've kind of hijacked the symbol, right? Because symbol is a powerful symbol.
They have hijacked two symbols, or many symbols, but two very important symbols. They have hijacked the swastika because they know that the swastika is to be used by the Jets. Secondly, they also misused the rainbow flag, which is supposed to have 9 colors, including indigo, which is the violet flame that we are.
Okay.
Should be there. Yeah.
Yeah, the Native Americans. The Hopi
that's the dark friends, because the dark friends, they have access to the future. They know what they're there. They have access to the future through the spirits, right? Yeah. So they know what the future is, and they're trying to sabotage what we are coming here to do. And that's why they're taking our symbols and misuse them before in history, so that people have a negative association with the swastika, negative association with the rainbow flag. Because we are in South America, the prophecies about us is, of course, the warriors of the rainbow. That's who we are. Yeah, I am the indigo man.
I was going to mention that the Hopi natives, North American natives, say that too. The rainbow warriors are coming to save the world.
I am a rainbow warrior.
Yeah,
that was the first I started with. Many years ago, I started with Warriors of the Rainbow. No one.
Yeah.
I always knew what's coming, the war and everything. I always knew. Yeah.
Well, what was the old proverb? Was it Chinese or Buddhist? And may you live in interesting times. That's definitely it's definitely what we're going through.
But all good things must come to end, Brad. So anyway, it was very nice talking with you. I know we are not crazy for the people watching.
Well, that's yet to be determined. I've wondered it a few times myself, but at least we're putting this out there for other double Simeons, other Perakee, I know being in the community and starting this podcast was so I could talk to weird people, so I don't feel so alone, and so I could talk to other Perakee. And I'm gonna try and do that. Maybe we can get on with Larry together, get a three-way phone call going on, or even more, get as many Parakees as we a Perakee roundtable.
Actually, the spirit has talked to me also, as I said, so I'm also going more public from now.
Okay, good.
Um,
We'll do that together.
I'm gonna blow the whistle. I'm blowing the whistle to everybody and say my truth. Whoever who wants to listen. Yeah.
Get the Jedi school started. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording. Stay on the line though. I'll say bye to you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Jann, for your enlightenment. I've learned a lot more about myself as a double Simeon and a Perakee, and I implore you, anybody who thinks we're crazy, start looking it up. Look it up, Google it, double Simeon or Perakee, the name of my podcast. Just start Googling it. Just see what they say about me and my friend here, and then maybe you won't think we're so crazy. All right, good night, everybody. Have a good evening.